Evening, everyone. Thank you for coming to tonight's special meeting. It's September 22nd, 2022, and for the record, it's 6:30 p.m. Council, when I call your name, please say here or present. Mayor Maxton.
Here.
Councilmember Stroop.
Here.
I see Councilmember Elizondo is not present. Councilmember Bliss.
Here.
Councilmember Kerner.
Here.
Councilmember Parker.
Here.
And Councilmember Menchow.
Present.
With 6 members of council present, a quorum is declared.
Thank you, Christina. Would everybody please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Wachter, really? Thank you all. As a reminder, we are live streaming tonight's meeting. If anybody would like to speak as part of the meeting, I'd ask that you use the microphone that's up here. That's so that individuals that are on live stream can hear you speak. And for residents that do speak, when you come forward, if you please state your name and if you are a Fair Oaks Ranch resident or not. We had nobody signed up for citizens to be heard tonight. Is there anybody here who did not get an opportunity to sign up that would like to speak as part of citizens to be heard? And with that, we'll move on to the purpose of tonight's meeting. We have 3 items, and then we have 1 consideration item tonight. The first item under the purpose of the special called meeting tonight is the consideration and possible action approving the second reading of an ordinance adopting the city budget for fiscal year beginning October 1st, 2022 and ending September 30th, 2023. Scott, do you have a couple comments? Or?
Just like you summarized it, Mr. Mayor, Scott Hughesengay, Assistant City Manager. This is the first of 3 actions on the proposed budget. The first is on the budget ordinance itself, in which the council authorizes all of the yearly appropriations in the budget, about I believe $14.1 million in the general fund, including use of reserves, plus about $5 million in the utility fund. All of the items reflect what the council passed at the meeting last week, which includes in your Exhibit A attached to the ordinance the reduction for the Ammon Road project. Everything else is identical. So unless there's questions for me, that's all I have.
Any questions from council? Any questions from anybody here tonight? Then could I get a motion to approve the 2022-2023 fiscal year budget ordinance?
I so move.
Laura, and a second?
Second.
Scott. Any comments from council?
I just want to say that after the last meeting, when we voted on this and we had the discussion about moving funds of Ammon Road, it really tugged at my heart that I voted in a way that I was not comfortable with. So I'm not going to vote in favor tonight. I don't think it's right that we're increasing, essentially going over the no new revenue rate and draining our reserves, or whatever it's called, surplus. There we go, surplus. We've been very efficient, I feel like, in this past year, getting a lot of projects started and going, and we've seen a lot of results, like the one here at Dietz and Chartwell. And we did that without having, drain all of our money. And I think if we're a little bit more careful, I don't know if careful is the right word, but I just think we need to be a little bit more selective in how we're using our funds for things that are essential in keeping this community going and keeping it in the way that we expect it to be, but also being mindful of our citizens. And I think we could probably do that without having the higher proposed budget amount.
Okay, thank you. Anybody else? Christine, I'll turn it over to you for a roll call vote.
Council, when I call your name, please say yes or no for this item number 4, which is the second reading of an ordinance adopting the city budget for fiscal year beginning October 1, 2022, and ending September 30th, 2023. Mayor Maxton,
Yes.
Councilmember Stroop,
No.
Councilmember Bliss,
Yes.
Councilmember Kerner,
Yes.
Councilmember Parker,
Yes.
Councilmember Mencho.
No.
Of a 4-2 vote in favor of the second reading of the ordinance.
Thank you, Christina. And with the 4-2 vote, the ordinance passes. I will move on to the second item, which is the consideration and possible action approving the second reading of an ordinance levying a property tax rate of 32.19 cents per $100 taxable valuation on property in the city of Fair Oaks Ranch for the tax year 2022 and determining due and delinquent dates. Anything else to add, or?
One other thing to add, it was just brought to my attention that the rate on the agenda, on the posted agenda, was reversed. It should be 32.91, not 19. The motion in your package should be correct, though. So we can
What?
clarify it.
9-1, right?
32.91
It's right.
should be.
I'll correct it on the motion.
Thank
Not
you.
right on the motion.
Other than that, I
Made
have
the
nothing to
motion,
add.
Yeah, it's right on the. Any questions from council? Any questions from anybody here tonight? And then with that, then could I get a motion to approve the property tax rate be increased by the adoption of a tax rate 32.91 cents per $100 taxable valuation, which is effectively a 1.01% increase in the tax rate?
So moved.
Leslie?
Second.
From Laura. Any other comments from council? I'll turn it over to Christina for the next roll call vote.
Council, when I call your name, please say yes or no regarding the second reading of an ordinance levying a property tax rate of 32.91 cents per $100 taxable valuation on property in the city of Fair Oaks Ranch for the tax year 2022 and determining due and delinquent dates. When I call Mayor Maxton,
Yes.
No.
Member Bliss,
Yes.
Member Kerner,
Yes.
Parker,
Yes.
Councilmember Mencho. Nope. Vote is 4-2 in favor of the second reading of that ordinance.
With the 4-2 vote, the ordinance passes. With that, we'll move on to the third item, which is consideration and possible action approving a resolution ratifying the property tax rate reflected in the FY 2022-2023 general fund and debt service fund budgets.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. One last action, as required by state law, when the budget goes over, or the property tax rate goes over the no new revenue rate, which our proposed budget, or now adopted budget, does by just a hair, the state code requires that we pass a resolution acknowledging what they call the effective tax rate increase. That's what this resolution does. So we're simply following the state code in approving and ratifying the tax rate as council just adopted.
Questions from council? Any questions from anyone here tonight? With that, could I get a motion to approve a resolution ratifying the property tax rate reflected in the fiscal year 2022-23 budget?
So moved.
Bill?
Second.
Scott? Any other comments from council? With that, we'll go ahead and take a vote on this resolution. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
No.
4-2 vote, the resolution is approved.
Mayor?
And Chesley and Emily.
Thank you.
All right. And the last item that we had on the agenda tonight is the consideration and the possible action approving a resolution to appoint a member to fill the alternate place on the City of Fair Oaks Ranch Board of Appeals. And John Wall submitted a application to fill this position. John is here tonight. And are there any questions from council? Questions from anyone here tonight? Then could I get a motion to approve a resolution appointing John Wall to the alternate place on the City of Fair Oaks Ranch Board of Appeals?
So moved.
From Chesley?
Second.
From Emily? Any comments from council?
I just want to thank John for applying to be in this position. I know we've had it vacant for a while, so I appreciate you stepping up.
Anybody else?
I'll echo what Councilwoman Kerner said. Appreciate you stepping up and helping us out.
With that, then, we'll go ahead and vote on the resolution. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? 6-0 vote, the resolution is approved. And I'll echo what everybody else said. John, thank you for stepping up and volunteering for this. It takes a special qualifications to fill this position on the board, and so having you come forward and do that means a lot to us. And after living here in the city for 27 years, you know that volunteering is a big part of our city culture. And so thank you for volunteering, and congratulations on your acceptance and appointment. And that's all the business that I have on the agenda tonight. Christine, is there anything else that we need to cover?
No, sir.
Tobin, anything else from you? All right, I have the time now is 6:43, and we are adjourned.
Go, Chesley, go.
Somewhere to be.